So if you haven't seen the question, I'm going to read it out. He says, I would love to hear what you, Abraham, consider ideal daily habits, listed chronologically from right when someone wakes up to when they go to bed. On a typical day, what are the best techniques and habits to implement morning, afternoon, evening, and night? For example, how do you start your day? Do you do pre-paving? Where do you go from there? Do you just make sure that you don't give negativity any energy for the rest of the 9 to 5 working day? Then after work, do you try and enjoy an activity that brings you joy? Like yoga, sports, video games, time with your dog, appreciating a neutral object. When do you release negative beliefs? How often do you intentionally appreciate subjects? What subjects do you avoid and which ones do you focus on? Just for reference, Abraham Hicks has so many 30-day videos where they suggest new habits LOA practitioners can take on, such as ignore TV, social media, people that bother you, start your day by appreciating something, etc. They claim that living this kind of lifestyle will bring you much closer to what you want. Amazing question, Max. See, here's the thing. Your question is asking me to make rules. And I don't want ever to make rules because rules are meant to be broken. Rules will make you feel claustrophobic. And really, there is no need for rules because you have this beautiful thing called your guidance system, your internal GPS, which is providing you with information minute to minute about what you should do. And everybody's guidance is going to be different because everybody's had a different journey in life. Now, those are the specifics. The specifics are never the same for any two people. The specifics of how you should go through a day are going to be different. But there is only one overarching thing, one overarching principle, and that is alignment. Alignment, 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 alignment. When I am in alignment, I never need to think about what I should do. All the things that we do, all the tools, all the processes, all of these things are supposed to help us with achieving the main goal, and that main goal is alignment. Just like any destination on any map in any country, in any city, in any community, there are many ways of getting there. And that is what you are saying to me when you point out the fact that there are many 30-day videos where Abraham is sometimes saying do this and sometimes saying do that. Because there are many ways to get to alignment. There isn't one way. I don't follow one way to alignment every single day. That would make life actually really boring. And life is never meant to be boring. So now, in the context of all of that, here's something, Max. Guys, I see so many of you online just now. Andrea, Karen, Sumati, Kareen. Can some of you, one of you, all of you, please tag Max Kalla on this call because this is in response to his question. So now understand that the overall goal is alignment. And all these other things are ways that we get to alignment. But once you are in alignment, you don't need all of those things anymore. Once you become practiced enough that you just live your life in a place of alignment. You go bipping up and down, but you never dip below the worry line. right? Here's the thing. When I dip, I know exactly what to do, because in reality, there are only two things. One is meditation and the other one is appreciation. They come in different packages. Visualization is a mix of appreciation with meditation, for example, right? There's either thinking work we do or non-thinking work we do. That's it. Everything is a combination of those two. The 4-step process is thinking work. It has appreciation in it, soothing and appreciation. It's thinking work. So all the processes fall under two categories: thinking work and non-thinking work. Non-thinking work is meditation. Thinking work is soothing and appreciation. That's it. And sometimes we mix them up. That's all. And so within that, you can create so many things that you can practice. So whatever it takes to bring me high on the emotional scale is what I will do. I personally always pre-pave, because pre-paving takes hardly any time. It's fantastic because it reframes what I have to accomplish during a day. You know, if my thoughts go all over the place, I bring them back. And so, as far as I'm concerned, the 40-day workout, the unlimited workbook, has everything that you need. You don't need more than that. We are not supposed to be doing the work all the time. We are supposed to spend most of our time in enjoyment of living life. And when we get off the track of enjoyment, we use the tool that is the closest that I can reach, meaning the one that I can use with the most ease, that tool. And not all the tools are equally easy for me to use at any one point in time. For example, when people are in the grip of anxiety, when people are in deep doo-doo depression, that is not the right time to practice meditation. So the tools that you use, the tool that is the easiest one to use at that point in time, based on what is happening at that point in time. Okay? So this is why you don't use the same tool every single time. It's a different tool, whatever is closest, whatever I can reach for easily. Do the things that are easy from where you are. Look at it from the point of view of a ladder, okay? Or a staircase. When I am vitalized and energized and feeling my full range of health, then it is easy for me to take 2 steps at a time, 3 steps at a time. But when I'm not feeling 100% physically well, then sometimes even taking 1 step is an issue. And so that's not the time when I take 3 steps up. I just take 1 step up, and that too sometimes, you know, if you've had back pain, which, you know, I used to be afflicted with it long ago, I used to only use one leg up. The one leg that was easiest to use, that was the one that I used to use. And the other one I would not bend at all. Has anyone ever gone up the stairs like that, like I used to? Of course you have, because we all have those experiences, right? So that is why there is no one size fits all in law of attraction, which is a problem for people who are rule followers. The good little boys and girls. I used to be one of them. I'm not anymore. I'm bad. So the thing is, for rule followers, they want a checklist. Zara, just tell me what I'm supposed to do when I wake up, and it's like I'm in the army and I'm going to go check, 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 check. But that's not how it works. The one thing that makes this hard for people, especially those people who listen to Abraham all the time, is that Abraham is talking to the person in the hot seat. And so Abraham is giving advice to the person in the hot seat. That advice is for that person. You can learn from that advice, and maybe you are like that person, and so that advice can make sense. But they will say different things to different people based on what that person's situation is. And when you are watching a little clip on YouTube, you do not know the full context in which Abraham is responding to the person who is in the hot seat. The same thing happens when I'm coaching people in the group coaching program, Unlimited 365. I am answering questions for the person who is asking the question, because there's an element of reading the energy of that person that you are not privy to. But when I am coaching someone and I am answering somebody's question, it is for that person. Other people can learn from it because there's an element of commonality for all of that. But regardless, that answer is meant mainly for that person who is asking the question. Right? So if you are not exactly that person, then that elements of that answer can apply to you, but it's not necessary that the entire answer applies to you. So Max, what I'm going to say to you is, you are making your life very difficult by thinking that there is a formula to this. There is no formula to this. You don't need a formula because you have a guidance system. Your guidance system is supposed to give you the directions, because you might be traveling one road. Let's say your destination is alignment and you always take the same route to your alignment. But one day there's road work going on and the road is blocked. Now you have to take a different route. That doesn't mean you can't get to alignment. You will still get there, just not by that route. So you've got to be open to taking whichever route works on a specific day. And I really, really hope that that makes sense to you. Now, lastly, to just complete this and bring it full circle, the tools that you use depend also your the tools that you use and the things that you do also depend on where you are in your overall law of attraction journey. And people who have worked with me and are part of my other communities, you guys might have heard me talk about the 6 stages of the manifesting success journey. The things that I used to do when I was in stage 1 of that journey, the things that I used to do when I was in stage 2 of the journey, the things that I used to do when I was in stage 3 of the journey and stage 4 of the journey are no longer things that I need to do anymore. Do you remember when you first learned how to tie your shoelaces? And Daffodil is probably teaching her little girl Aya to learn how to tie her shoelaces right now. In fact, I think Aya has already learned how to tie her shoelaces. By the way, Daff, I really want to give her a squeeze. Oh my God. So want to see her and give her a squeeze. But the thing is, when Aya was first learning how to tie her shoelaces, or Kareen, you're on the call, your little boys not so long ago were learning how to tie their shoelaces. When they were learning, the way they tied their shoelaces was different. It was more deliberate. They were paying attention to how long the string was on this side, or the shoelace was on this side, and how long it was on this side, and then how they were folding it over and then tying that knot. They don't do that anymore. They don't need to pay that much attention to it. And now they can be one of those people who have fun tying their shoelaces in many different ways, because there's so many ways to tie your shoelaces. So as you progress and you become proficient with what? What are you becoming proficient with? Not the processes, not the ways of, not the tools. No, that's not what we need to become proficient with. And that's one of the mistakes people make. People think that when I can do a perfect visualization, then I will become the most powerful manifestor in the world. But it's not that. The goal is not to become proficient with the processes, because you don't use the same process every time. The goal is to become perfect at knowing where you are on the emotional scale, which means you've got to become perfect at your guidance system telling you where you are on the emotional scale. It's about knowing how to read the map. When I didn't have a GPS, I needed to know how to read the map to tell which direction I was going in. You got to learn how to read the map. And the map consists of only two things: the emotional system and momentum. That is why I use diagrams to explain this stuff, because it is so powerful. When you understand that there are really only two things that you need to become an expert on. You need to be able to gauge your momentum, and you need to know where you are on the emotional scale. When you know these two things, you have the coordinates. When we read a map, we have an x-axis and a y-axis, and we can plot exactly where we are based on our coordinates. Well, when you know where you are on the emotional scale, and when you know how much momentum you have, you know exactly what your coordinates are, and then you say, this is where I am, that's where I need to go, therefore this is what I'm going to do to get there. Now you can, if this was an actual map, I could take a donkey cart, I could take a horse cart, I could take a rickshaw, I could take a motorbike, I could take a manual bicycle, I could take a car, I could take a plane, I could take so many different types of vehicles, or I could just walk there. I can take so many vehicles to get there. Where? Alignment, to alignment. Now those vehicles are representative of all the millions of tools and exercises that are out there. Nobody has the perfect exercise that will always take you there. And that, for people who are good little boys and girls, rule followers, is very difficult. Because they expect it to be a straight line. It is hardly ever a straight line. And that's why the only thing you need to trust is your guidance system. Don't trust people telling you do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Trust your guidance system. So, Max, that's the answer to your amazing, beautiful question. And I wanted to make sure that I post the answer to this question before our live Q&A tonight. I'll see you there. Bye for now.